look in the dictionary, it solves one problem. The word Hebrew is not a Hebrew word. No more than the word Egypt is a Egyptian word, but a code word. When broken down according to what is called anagrammatic writing, excuse me, I'm going to write the word over again. We see in Hebrew, her web. Then if we've looked on the back of the dollar bill, we see in the design outline on the back of the dollar bill, we see her web, in reference to what is based upon what the student understands before he or she discovers that web in terms of the zodiac or the scope, the horoscope, which is one thing. If I draw a circle like this, I have drawn the horoscope. If I put in the 12 signs and the planets, then I had the mother Zodiac, okay, in terms of what it means in the Greek text and legendarily presented by C.M. Bay as a part of the ancient Moorish language. The word Zodiac comes from what he refers to as the ancient language of Latin. Of course, he never proved that or verified it, but in terms of its reference to 12 animals in the sky is what is given in the Greek dictionary. But we know there are no animals in the sky. So we evidently are talking about 12 symbols or signs mapped out or structured in the sky. And again takes us further into the Codex Inscriptus to deal with the three missing keys of our culture: identity, self-knowledge, self-revelation. Once we're into that code with that nucleus, that center, things start to make sense. And we find ourselves superseding, getting beyond belief. And once you're able to get beyond belief with proof and evidence of what you know, no one can lure you back to babyhood and wrestle you with your belief system as being right or wrong or better or less than someone else's, which again gets to be a part of the problem for religious believers. Okay.
You just came in to browse into the store?
Okay, well, good. Yeah.
I enjoyed the lecture.
Well, good.
Do you have a card?
No, I don't have a card, but I'm here on Sundays at 2 o'clock and on Fridays at 8. Yes. Yeah. Okay, dear. Thank you for coming by. No, I've already started. I'm going to finish there. Of course. You just happen to be the lucky student. That's the first time I heard any feedback on that mic. Maybe the first time you turned it on. I could tell she wasn't interested. She kept looking away from me as I talked. Yeah. Which means she's nowhere near this and resents it. I could see it in her face.
She's a follower of
Yeah.
Together Did Pyramid.
Imam Isa? Yeah, okay.
I think this is it.
Yeah, no, his name is Zadok now. That was his name, was Imam Isa. Well, she's getting some of it over there.
His daddy there. His daddy there.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely follower.
Yeah, but that was, you can sense when people hear what you're saying and they wish you weren't saying it, you know. But that's all right. I already knew what he said 10 years ago, you know, when I was up there in New York, you know.
Yes, she was having a great, well, she left that place and she's not with that person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who is he? Malachi?
That's the same one.
Do you know it?
Yeah, same one. That's him.
Dr. Love.
Yeah, he's built his pyramid out there, what's it called? But again, he took them through all this religious stuff and denied everything positive about Egypt, even referred to it as satanic, you know.
And she was sitting there telling me that the Arabs and the Palestinians and all, they don't like the black people or something she was saying.
In Arabia?
Yeah.
They're convinced we are the sons of Ham, and that Ham was cursed. You know? Sure, I know what their problem is, but their problem ain't ours. We don't want to buy that dumb shit. But I wanted to make reference to, reason I put this up, that these 7 laws are part of what is the astrological construct of system, that these laws is why astrology is examinable, why it functions. This is how the universe is moving and why it is doing what it's doing. And it's important, again, that we know that there is a knowledgeableness that supersedes belief. So that the combating between belief systems can be halted. It can't be halted if Islam must win, if Christianity must, But he's doing what he's given to do, so I don't get into an argument of that. The first law that's usually promoted probably more than any other is the law of correspondence by most astrologers. In fact, Alan Oken, at the bottom of every page, just about, he put as above, so below. So persuaded in the evidently the superiority of that principle as above others. That's ludicrous when you're talking about order, knowledge, and exactitude. They don't function one above the other in terms of value, no more than a steering wheel is more important than 4 wheels on the car. I mean, you just don't look at things when you understand that if one part is missing, the whole of the thing ain't about nothing. It ain't gonna work, So you look at laws based upon first their presentation. The first presentation of order is motion. So the first law of nature is vibration. Okay? In order to examine something in terms of time, change, development, it has to be in motion. Okay? Yeah, right. In terms of looking at principles, not because vibration is better than correspondence. Okay, that's the status quo stuff again. But the law of vibration is the first visibility of motion. When we see something moving, we know motion is involved. If it is in motion, it is given to change. If it is given to change, it necessarily has the duality aspect of it. A light and a dark, a tall and a short, a fast and a slow. If we understand one principle, the other parts of the same principle, there's only one law. These are not 7 laws. These are 7 aspects of universal law. That's what we're looking at. But it's more interesting to present them as precepts because that's how, evidently, Tehute presented them. So by looking at the law of vibration in relationship to planetary motion, we're then able to understand that in the cycle of things, that a thing set in motion is able to be measured. If it's cyclical, it is circular. If it is circular, that means it's going to be turned back to the point at which one observed it at any given time of observation. So it is here, it doesn't matter. If I stand here and watch a planet move, if I stand here long enough, it'll come back. Okay? That's whether that's 85 years, 65, or 28 days, as the moon gives us indication of. Then the polarization factor gets to be a matter of energy type in terms of intensity. Slow is less, fast is more and greater. The planets do not reach a point where they halt at the high peak of their vibration and stay there. But we know that speed increases. Some planets are moving faster than others, thereby able to dispense the electromagnetic vibration of sound into the atmosphere with greater veracity, force, than others. That some planets return back to their cycle faster than others, thereby making a more consistent and more often impact and expression in the atmosphere than others. Okay? As the 28-day cycle of the moon keeps verifying that this particular quote planet sphere is the most consistent and frequent depositor of energy in our atmosphere, because it only takes 28 days for it to cycle. Yes. The sun does not evolve around anything except that in its own orbit. It evolves around its central sun, but that is an enormous orbiting or orbital flight in terms of movement. That takes some 25.600 years to come from in its grand cycle. Like if here is the point of measure, to get back to here is approximately 26,000 years. But that's the whole of the constellational family of 12 signs, rather than planetary cycle, which is in our immediate solar system. The polarization. The rhythm is the other aspect of vibration that allows us to make a determinant of intelligent frequency, intelligent difference of behavior in terms of making this input into our solar atmosphere. When the rhythm of a planet is harmonious, its energy is harmonious. When a planet becomes stagnant, zigzagging, makes reference to Zeph. When it becomes inharmonious, its rhythm gives off an inharmonious vibration like that of static energy. Energy that affects us in a discomforting kind of way, unpleasant kind of way, mood-changing kind of way, even to the point of extraordinary stress, is a deposit that the whole of the planet gets at certain times of retrograde conditions. Just as a wonderful example I was able to recall, I got out of the guy's car one morning around 8 o'clock and looked up, and here is this beautiful rose red sun. And I mean, it felt wonderful. You could feel this, you know. Everybody on the planet got some of that. You know, it was just gorgeous. You know, and that's that perfect harmony, which means perfect rhythm. You know? So we're again looking at one law moving, functioning, operating, and we're looking at its pulse, how it affects us. It produces a effectual cause, a stimulus. It does not make us do anything. It stimulates us to react. That reaction becomes a chain of events on the surface level, on on the registered level, it becomes what is called accumulation, where karma gets to be wonderful or terrible is not the cause-effect factor, but the accumulation of certain groups, types of causes and effects. If it becomes horrifically negative behavior, negative behavior, negative behavior, that's a compilation of negative karma that the individual is rattling him or herself